Hello everyone. Before we start today's video, if you could all do me a solid and lightly tap the like button, perhaps share the video about and leave a comment. If you are not subscribed, subscribe as well. It would greatly help this channel. Thank you very much. Well, isn't this just fantastic? Captain's log, subdates 220711.2. Apparently, Ensign Bork will require extensive surgery to rebuild his shattered everything. I'm certain the pod he was in would have survived, but I really didn't want to scratch the paint, so my priorities were quite right. His body for my pod. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Yes, okay, we're going to be talking about Amber Heard. You're all welcome. This is going to be fun, right? Okay, so a number of things have transpired in the space of a week, context of which needs to be provided so that we have a proper detailing of what is going on post Johnny Depp's victory. Obligatory shilling of relevant playlist here. A number of things we're going to discuss I have alluded to briefly in previous videos. But with the week having gone, we now have the additional information that can better articulate what it is that is going to now happen while Johnny Depp is on his Victory World Tour, and Amber Heard is in a mountain of trouble. So first, Amber Heard calls for new libel trial against Johnny Depp. The lawyers for Amber Heard have called the $10.35 million, £8.2 million awarded in damages to Johnny Depp indefensible and are calling on the judge to throw out the verdict and have a new trial. The lawyers for Amber Heard set out in a 43-page motion that Johnny Depp proceeded solely on a defamation by implication theory. We did discuss this last week, by the way. They called the verdict excessive, and that Amber Heard has respectfully requested the court to set aside the jury verdict in favor of Johnny Depp and against Amber Heard in its entirety, dismiss the complaint, or in the alternative, order a new trial. Now, when we spoke about this last week, Benjamin Chew had stated, "This is a load of bollocks, quite frankly," but in an American accent, of course, and replaced the word bollocks with some Americanism. But additional points have been raised from this since from other articles, one of which includes that Johnny Depp had argued that he had not been asked to reprise his role as Jack Sparrow in another Pirates of the Caribbean movie because of the Washington Post op-ed. Many of us agree that is not true. The franchise was going down and Disney want to reboot. Because as is well known everyone, a reboot solves all the world's problems. It's exactly what the people want. Another aspect that has been given more information, which has subsequently led to a number of articles speculating that the verdict has been thrown into chaos, is that the wrong juror was seated in the Virginia trial. This one error is arguably one of the only potentially legitimate arguments that Amber Heard's team have. In the partially redacted filing from Amber Heard's team, it states that Miss Heard had a right to rely on the basic protection as prescribed by the Virginia Code, that the jurors in this trial would be individuals who are actually summoned for jury duty. In this case, it appears that juror number 15 was not, in fact, the same individual as listed on the jury panel. That comes from Elaine Bredhoft, adding that Miss Heard's due process was therefore compromised. Under these circumstances, a mistrial should be declared and a new trial ordered. Unlike the previous motion and memorandum placed in the Fairfax County Courthouse docket to dismiss the June 1st verdict and get a new trial, this particular supplemental memo has a lot more details on what would actually or could actually snatch the victory from Johnny Depp. The filing in question mentions that the summons for jury duty was sent out to a Virginia resident in April. However, it seems that there are two individuals residing at the same address, with the same surname, one a 77-year-old and another a 52-year-old. The former, the 77-year-old, was the one that was summoned, but the 52-year-old is the one that is believed to have showed up instead. So the filing continues. Thus, the 52-year-old, redacted, sitting on the jury for 6 weeks, was never summoned for jury duty on April 11th and did not appear in the list as required. What makes this a tad trickier is that if that allegation is true, then this juror should never have been there, and there is a point to that. But the court itself falls under a level of disrepute here for not checking the person in question, allegedly. And I have to state this because there's always a chance they did check the ID. But as a number of articles have pointed out, it's always possible that the juror in question provided fake ID. Now, Fairfax County's juror questionnaire webpage does try to ensure that the correct people are there. It requires all county residents to log in using a 7-digit juror number, zip code, birth date. Those same safeguards are in place and relied upon by the parties to verify the identity of the correct juror. This in turn ensures that due process and a fair trial takes place. When these are circumvented or not follows, as it potentially may well have been in this instance, the right to a jury trial and due process are undermined and therefore compromised. While this has been going on, Johnny Depp has found himself reportedly on the receiving end of a lawsuit. The lawsuit has been filed by Greg Rocky Brooks. Greg Rocky Brooks alleges that on the set of City of Lies in 2018, Johnny Depp had punched him in the ribcage. According to Radar, Greg Rocky Brooks cites emotional distress, humiliation as his main woes, and that Johnny Depp's intoxication and temper created a hostile, abusive, and unsafe work environment. It also goes on to allege that Johnny Depp offered him nearly $100,000 to punch him in the unspecified damages charge. That also includes the film's producers and directors. In this instance, Johnny Depp denies any wrongdoing related to the case, and had said that he had made amends with Greg Rocky Brooks, while also negotiating an out-of-court settlement with him by stating, "I apologized, he apologized, we gave him a hug, we embraced, I hugged him and everything was cool. As a matter of fact, he asked for a selfie with me, so I took a selfie with him." Also pointing out that he had his assistant bring him a bottle of wine that they had toasted with paper cups. And no harm, no foul. Now back to Amber Heard, because we're not done. Amber Heard is now in trouble as well. Amber Heard's insurance company has refused to pay $8 million in damages as she willfully defamed Johnny Depp. Amber Heard's insurance company is claiming it doesn't need to pay part of the $8 million damages owed to Johnny Depp because she went out of her way to willfully defame him. The insurance company in question has reportedly filed a lawsuit in federal court against Amber Heard, claiming that they are not liable to pay part of the damages owed to Johnny Depp. In a policy written in 2019, New York Marine and General Insurance Company stated it would pay up to $1 million. That's a bit short of what she requires, especially if she intends to find a way to then get the same amount of money to, have a do-over. However, in the suit filed on Friday, the company claims that it is not obligated to cover a portion of the damages. This is because the policy was filed in California, where the law states that an insurer does not need to pay if the policyholder committed willful misconduct. I feel like this part might be the more fascinating one to prove, as willful will no doubt by Amber Heard's own team be treated as a nebulous term, and with them trying to lodge an appeal of some kind, or a mistrial, a retrial, a do-over, whatever you want to call it, I assume Pokey Battle is the last one, she will push this aside until the final conclusion has been reached in many, many years' time. The company said in its filing an actual controversy has arisen and now exists between plaintiff on the one hand and Heard on the other hand, with regard to the duties and obligations owed between plaintiff and Heard under the policy with respect to indemnity. The jury's factual findings established that Heard's liability is caused by the willful act of Amber Heard. That was reported by the LA Times. Now, at the time of recording, I did do a little digging. I could not find any further information covering this particular subject, but I will keep you all updated when more transpires or happens or is hopefully dismissed. Now, it was while I was looking for additional sources covering that information that I found out that Johnny Depp is writing 2 songs for an album with Beck, covering the defamation trial itself. The track is due to be released on Friday the 15th of July. The album collaboration is called 18. You can be certain, based on Johnny Depp's own support in the United Kingdom, that the album 18 is going to smash it in UK charts. I'm not going to place a bet on that because I'm not stupid. Sod's Law says that now that I've said that, it's going to absolutely crash. But I do firmly believe The two songs talking about the defamation trial are going to be very, very interesting, and I advise you all to keep your ears to the ground, or on Spotify of course, for it when it drops. Now, as we've reached the end of the video, I would like to instead promote something. I'm attempting to finish my log cabin, aka my new home, I guess. Yes, home. Yes. To do this, I need Echo-Tricky. Echo-Tricky is quite expensive these days, so I'm going down the solar Echo-Tricky route. If you'd like to help me achieve this goal, I have a Ko-fi link down below with a goal of a certain amount. I can't remember what it is. If you'd like to help, please consider donate via that. Thank you.